as we look at problem number 2 here, we're going to go ahead and find the length of a leg. And we do that by going backwards. So normally we're given the side and we go to find the hypotenuse. And so that was the side times root 2. So going backwards, this multiplication, we get rid of multiplication by dividing. So we're going to divide both sides by root 2. And so there's kind of two different ways to do this. One is when this is a whole number, like 6, 3, anything like that. Then there's a little bit more kind of complicated way to do it, because whenever we divide like a whole number by square root, we can't leave it like that. We have to rationalize it. And how we rationalize it is by getting rid of this square root part. Well, the only way to get rid of square root is when there's a pair. So that means I need to multiply it by another square root 2, because that would be square root 4, and the square root of 4 is 2. Right? There's a pair of 2, so the 2 comes out. Well, if I multiply the bottom by that, I also have to multiply the top. Right? That's how fractions work. So this would be h root 2 over 2. That would be how I get my side. Okay, so that's what I do when I have a whole number like 6. So now I can put just 6, my hypotenuse, h equals 6, and I'm trying to find my side, which is x. So I could switch this s to an x. Okay, so now I have to just put my hypotenuse in there. So 6 over 2, root 2. And this will always be the case. And I can simplify that, and I get 6 over 2 is 3. So one way to find the side is take your hypotenuse, divide it by 2, and then times that by root 2. The other way, if this already is a square root, which they don't do on the next, the got it, what you're supposed to do. So for your got it, you can use this. That's fine. But another issue is if this was, say, square root 6. So if that was square root 6, then I just leave it like this. H over root 2 equals s. Okay? Because if I have a square root there, then I can simplify that and I can divide a root by a root. I can divide a root by a root. I just put it under one root and leave the fraction like that. All right, our radical rules. So this would be square root 3 if my hypotenuse was originally root 6. Okay, so there's kind of two ways you can do it. One is if you have a whole number, you just divide it by 2 and multiply by root 2. Or the other way is if you still have a root as your hypotenuse, which a lot of times we will. And that will be hypotenuse over square root of 2. Okay, so there's the two ways. Go ahead and do the got it here, which you have a length of 16. So if you want to draw it, that's fine. 16, solve for x.